Facilitation Center, which provides handholding support to MSME manufacturers and exporters also for venturing into defense production, where quality is the principal component of manufacturing. I am happy to inform the Chamber has always meticulously involved in promoting food standards and safety in the interest of the BOs. In this regard, the Chamber has earned accolades from the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India and other stakeholders, including BOs, and professionally associated with food processing sector, mostly MSMEs, for successful conducting food safety training and certification programs on a regular basis. Recently, we held a Manak Manthan at the Chamber to spread awareness regarding new published standards by the BIS. Thus, we have a good opportunity to learn about the quality specifications. The challenge before us is therefore to ensure that we have raw materials, proper quality, and our products are also required specifications. For this, we need NABL accredited laboratories for testing. This facility is lacking here. I would therefore request our guest speakers to tell us about the help that we can get in testing particulars. On behalf of the Chamber, I would also request our guest speakers to outline the scope for Chamber's active participation in organizing more such awareness and outreach programs, especially on various aspects that cater to the interests of the MSMEs in the partnership with agencies like QCI and MSME DFO, Kolkata. My special thanks to the Quality Council of India once again for extending sponsorship to this program. With these words, I would conclude my address and request Sri Kongshomonik to commence his address. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Tarok Kongshomonik, Assistant Director, MSME DFO, Kolkata. Mr. Achyut Chandra, Chairman, MSME Subcommittee, Bharat Chamber of Commerce. Srimati Ruchira Mukherjee, Lean Consultant. Mr. Nitin Jadhav, Analyst, QCI. At first, I would like to thank both QCI and Bharat Chamber of Commerce for organizing this awareness program. And the scheme was just before the old scheme, Lean scheme, you may be aware that it was quite different. At present, the MCLS scheme, MSME Competitive Lean scheme. So it is just to make you aware about the scheme. What Mr. Achyut Chandra ji has told that the scheme comes under the MSME Champion scheme. That is the there is the component of MSME Innovative and JED and Zero Defect, Zero Effect, and MCLS, MSME Competitive Lean scheme. So I want to just give the overview about what is the Lean scheme. Previously, the Lean scheme was the concept about the SPV, Special Purpose Vehicle, but now the scheme is you can heterogeneous or homogeneous unit can form the group of enterprise 4 to 10 for intermediate and advanced level. But for basic levels, it is for individual unit can take the advantage. That is free of cost. Analyst and also Lean consultant, both I think will highlight the scheme elaborately. So in every individual unit can take the benefit of Lean scheme to make their productivity improvement, their quality improvement, wastage reduction. This is the main purpose or objective of the scheme. And also like JET certification, MCLA scheme is to improve their productivity, quality improvement. These are the main purpose of the scheme. So in details, I think they will discuss. And if after that, if any query or related to scheme, obviously I am here and I'll provide my contact number to all of you. And I'll any kind of query further, I will obviously solve. So thank you again for the Bharat Chamber of Commerce and QCI for organizing this program. Thank you. Thank you.
the next presentation from Madam Ruchira Mukherjee, a lean consultant. She's going to give us a detail about the whole scheme and methodology and forward it to the lean implementation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ruchira Mukherjee from Business Analyst Group. Our organization had been associated with Quality Council of India since the inception of the Lean Manufacturing Competitive Scheme. I mean, from the pilot stage. So today I would be talking to you regarding what this scheme is all about. There are a lot of changes so far as the previous scheme is concerned in the present scheme. So how this scheme goes ahead, and primarily I would be talking to you regarding what lean is. I'll also educate you regarding a brief background of our organization. So let us start. We are already delayed. So it would require your concentration to understand the concept of lean. So I would request you to have patience and bear with me during the presentation. Now, what are we going to discuss across this presentation? First is, what is the scheme? What is lean manufacturing? Background and USP of us, that is Business Analyst Group. What benefits you will get through this scheme? How the scheme would operate? What will be your responsibilities as the MSME participating in the scheme? What is the scheme? This scheme is basically initiated by Ministry of MSME to assist the MSME industries in being competitive. When we say being competitive, we are actually focusing on improving your productivity, being cost effective, manufacturing quality, and hence being competitive in the market. That's what we are indicating at. How that lean will talk about. QCI is the implementing agency for this scheme across all MSMEs in India. The prerequisite for an MSME to participate in the scheme is your Udyam registration. To begin with, there is a lean pledge. You'll have to get into the lean portal which QCI has developed. And there the first step is, after giving your Udyam registration number, you first take a lean pledge. Lean pledge actually talks about that you would be adopting the philosophy of lean. Even after the scheme closes, after your participation is over in the scheme, then too the philosophy will continue with your organization. So that is the pledge. Then comes the basic level. The basic level is also, again, individually every MSME will go through the basic level, wherein it's again the portal based. You will be getting a lot of education from the portal. Based on the portal, you will educate yourselves, your team, and then there would be an assessment, again, online, portal based. You'll go through that assessment, and individually you will have to pass the basic level. After you pass the basic level, then comes the intermediate level. In intermediate level, you are actually going to form clusters. Now in the clusters, you will be a group of enterprises, 4 to 10, as Mr. Kongsho Bonik was right now telling you, that this group of industries can be heterogeneous or homogeneous. We always suggest let it be homogeneous, then it becomes a cohesive group wherein you can discuss among yourselves and develop the concepts. And there would be a handholding support. Now, this handholding support is actually indicating that the consultants of QCI will come to your units and they will train your people, guide your people, handhold with them, and see that you are able to implement the concepts of lean. And this entire process will continue for a period of 6 months. After you have passed the intermediate level, then again, as a group of enterprise, you can go for the advanced level of implementation of lean manufacturing. So this is the basic outline of the scheme. Now, getting into the main concept. Now, can you all please indicate, any of you, what is lean? This term itself, what do you mean by that? Anybody? Just the terminology, meaning of the terminology. Lean.
Well, by English language, we can say it's a shedding of your excess.
Yes. Lean means being thin. Okay, being thin, right? Do we understand it better that way? Right. Who is lean? There are two images in your screen. Who is lean? Right? Why? Why?
Shedding excess.
Because there is no excess fat. Hence, that person is lean. Same thing. Your organization is full of excess fat. It's so intangible that you are unable to see. And now, hence, you need to become lean. It's about the health of your organization. It's absolutely internal, nothing external. It's absolutely internal health of your organization, and lean actually deals with that, right? In lean, there are basically three elements which we need to eliminate. In order to be a healthy organization, a lean organization, we will have to eliminate Mura, we'll have to eliminate Mura, we'll have to eliminate Muri. What these are, I'm going to talk to you about. These terminologies are Japanese terminologies. As you know, that all these concepts, the modern manufacturing concepts which have come up, they have come up from Japan. So all these terminologies primarily are taken from them. So Mura, Mura, Muri, or Mura, Muri, Mura. These are the three things which are there very much inherent within the organizational system, which is so much intangible, you are probably unable to see, and that is where lean is going to help you to find out and eliminate these in order to make your organization healthy. So what is actually happening whenever you are into a manufacturing process, you are actually seeing these as the problem areas. You have defects coming out of processes, you are reworking on the defects, and there are customer returns. But what you are seeing is just tip of the iceberg. So what happens, I think most of you are ISO certified, and in ISO, you have understood some terminologies: correction, corrective action, preventive action. So what you are ending up at is actually correction. Whenever there is a defect, you are doing a rework, and you are trying to see that the customer returns are not there. So the correction happens, you again land up in a defect situation, you again rework. So this is an ongoing process, right? But what you are unable to see is what is beneath the level. All these things are happening. We say root cause analysis, RCA is not happening. You actually do not know from where is this arising. That is what you basically need to understand, and that lean will help you to understand these concepts, these hidden concepts, which are actually reflected in the form of defects, rework, and customer return, which are the problems which you are seeing on the surface. So these are the 8 defects, 8 wastes. We are talking about Mura. Just now we spoke that the first thing is Mura. Mura is about 8 wastes which are inherent in your organization, in your manufacturing process. The first waste is the transportation waste. How much is your raw material moving from the raw material stage to the finished goods stage? What is the distance covered by the raw material? How good is your layout, production layout? This is what it is talking about. Inventory waste. How healthy are you? Have you measured your ITR? What is the inventory turnover ratio of your organization? How much waste you are incurring sitting on inventory? Whether it is raw material, it's in work in progress, it is in finished goods. What's there? Do you have that knowledge? Movement waste. How well have you planned your processes that your men are not moving and wasting time in the course of doing the production? So the movement waste. Waiting waste, waiting for the material to come, waiting for the machine to get repaired, waiting for the operator absenteeism, waiting for the instructions to come, waiting for the design to arrive, so many things. Waiting for the instructions to come, all these things are waiting waste. Overproduction, doing more than what is needed, producing more than what is needed. It might be process-wise, it might be overall production line-wise. Over processing, doing the same thing again and again, communicating something over phone, sending a letter, sending an email. It's the same communication which is being done time and again, every time. This is over processing. Reworks are over processing. Too much working on a particular process for which probably the customer is not willing to pay, over processing. Then the defect waste, which is very obvious, and skill waste. Human resource is a very neglected affair in most of the organizations. Skill waste, a person who is fit for a higher skill level activity being underskilled, or a person is not having the skill of doing an activity, put him in on that work without a training, that is also a skill waste. Ultimately, your organization is losing out. And finally, mistake. It's a very, very, very accepted affair. Bhul to hote hi pare. Galti to ho sakta hai. It's a very accepted affair. Nahi, esteem of work is missing. Mistake. Galti ho gaya. सबसे आपसे भी हो रहा है. आप भी बहुत आसानी से बोल दोगे गलती हो गया. Right? So mistakes. So we say these are the 8 wastes and hydra-headed dragon, which is eating up your business and which you are not even informed about. You actually need to work on that. Now, apart from this, there are 2 more things. Muri, I said, it's overburdening. You are overburdening some processes with workload and unevenness. In your production line, workload is not evenly distributed, which means you have not done a proper study of tuck time. You have not done a proper cycles time study. The process time is not being rightly understood. Just production is going on. So that creates unevenness. Okay. So what is happening? What is actually happening in the business? Let us try to understand that, why lean is required. See, there are 2 verticals on which your business is standing. One is the income vertical, second is the cost vertical. And between these 2 verticals, there is a gap, which we call is the margin of business. And that is the necessity of any business. If you want to sustain, you need that gap, right? But what is the irony? See, this is your bag of revenue, you know. You know that end of the year, this is the revenue that I have earned. But what you really do not know is this pilferages. This is unknowingly happening. So basically, what is happening because of these leakages, all these Muri, Muda, 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 Muri, Mura are causing the leakages. And because of the leakages, what is happening is there is an upward thrust on the cost. So every time, end of the year, when you sit with your CA, when you sit with your accountant, पैसा जा कहाँ रहा है समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. हम इतना कोशिश कर रहे हैं, सेल्स बढ़ाने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं, रात दिन काम कर रहे हैं, पैसा कहाँ जा रहा है समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. Because the hidden cost is not visible. You are unable to see that. और वहां आपका मार्जिन खा जा रहा है, कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है. That's why you are unable to see the margin, right? What happens in a business, the difficulty is this income vertical is restricted. You can increase income either by raising your price, but it's again entirely external factor dependent. If you raise your price, you might not get buyers for your commodity. You cannot just abruptly raise price to increase the income. Second, if you increase production, again, partially external, partially internal, you might not be having buyers for so much of your produce. So you just cannot focus on the income vertical. So only way out for you is to focus on the cost vertical. See what you need to do in order to put a downward thrust on the cost and reverse that arrow down. Okay, that's what is needed. So this is what we are indicating. Dr. Edward Deming, he is quality guru. From USA, he is an engineer, he is a statistician. He has contributed a lot to the industry so far as quality is concerned. After World War II, when Japan was totally scattered, nothing was there. Today, what Japan is, this person's contribution, they really respect. And by his name, they run a medal called the Deming Medal. That was the contribution of this person to this country. Now, what he said is, we have learned to live in a situation where mistakes and defective products have become a habit. We have learned to live with it as if that is necessary for life. Actually, this thought process, this philosophy, this needs to change. That's what Dr. Deming wanted to tell us. So what Deming says is, there is a chain which is named after him, Deming chain. Now what Deming chain talks about is, the first thing in the chain is improve quality. Now when we talk of quality, immediately what comes to our mind is the product. जो हम बना रहे हैं उसका क्वालिटी कैसा है, लेकिन नहीं, क्वालिटी आपका प्रोसेस का भी आपको देखना होगा. Your process also has a quality. And because you are not focusing on the process quality, your product quality, you are getting into a quality check norm and not on a quality assurance norm. And today's requirement is to get into quality assurance, not quality check. Improve quality, then decrease cost. Decrease cost kaise? Do less work, make fewer mistakes, fewer delays, better use of machine, time, and materials. Okay. Then improve your productivity. So slowly move across the chain, decrease price, increase market, stay in the business, provide more jobs, and return on investment will come. So what Dr. Deming wanted to emphasize through this chain is that you focus on this point and then chronologically proceed. Ultimately, this will come. But it's just the reverse. We focus here and we miss out on all those. That's why we are struggling. Every time there is a crisis management. And this is a perennial problem, a universal problem with the MSME manufacturing units. So what we need to understand is, what is there in our production activities? When we produce, when we manufacture, there are two things that we are doing. We are doing some value-added activities and we are doing some non-value addition activities also. We need to understand what is value addition, what is non-value addition. If we talk of value addition is anything, any process where the raw material nature and characteristics and shape is changing and slowly it is getting transferred to my finished product, that is value addition. Wherever I am touching my raw material, whichever process is touching my raw material, and there is a change in the characteristics of the raw material, that is value addition. The remaining, all that we are doing in running our manufacturing business is basically non-value addition. Now, in non-value addition, we have two things again. There are some non-value addition activities which is unavoidable. Knowing non-value, but you cannot do away with it. You will have to carry on. And there are certain things which is avoidable. Now, can you tell me what is unavoidable non-value addition? Value addition, as I said, all those processes where you are touching your raw material, either by machine or by hand, and the characteristics of the raw material is changing. And as you are changing the characteristics of raw material, slowly, you are making the finished product. So all those activities that you are doing in value addition, in making the production or the product is value addition. Other than that is non-value addition. Now tell me something. Say, for example, you are making a tin box. In making the tin box, you have a corrugated sheet, which you are first cutting. Then probably you are bending it. Then probably you are welding it. Okay. Now, all these activities which I talked about, are these value addition or non-value addition? Why? Yes, characteristics of your material is changing and slowly. Other than that, what are you doing to run the business? Tell me. Pardon me, please repeat. Stocking raw material, yes. Yes. Labor what? Labor what?
Wastage of labor, that's being ideally.
Okay, fine. Okay,
Again, wastage.
okay. What else? Your marketing, your sales, your
Accounting.
advertising, your billing, your
Accounting.
HR, your accounting, all these things you're doing, isn't it? In
Yes.
running a business. Are they adding value?
No,
They're non-value addition. Can you avoid them?
no.
That is unavoidable non-value addition. So try to understand your processes this way. And there is avoidable non-value addition also. So when we talk of lean manufacturing, we are actually going to hit there. Avoidable non-value addition. And all these things, these Mura, 8 Wests, Muri, Mura, these are your avoidable non-value additions, which you are not even informed about. Okay. And when you are doing lean, when you are adopting lean, what you will actually learn is how to understand these and eliminate this from your manufacturing process. That is what lean is all about. So only an activity that physically changes the shape or character of a product or assembly can add value. And any activity that does not change the product or assembly is non-value or waste. Okay. So we need to very cleverly identify that in non-value, what is all that we need to do, remaining all we need to eliminate from our manufacturing process. See, there was a research done wherein this is the outcome. When we see a manufacturing industry, only 5% of the processes are value addition processes. Remaining 95% is non-value addition process. Among this 95%, 30% is unavoidable non-value addition. So it's a question of this 65%, which is the hidden cost of your business. And that is where your margin is being eaten up. You actually need to eliminate this 65%. The quality gurus strictly say, don't think of reducing, think of eliminating. Okay. So your objective should be to eliminate the 65% of the Mura, which is there inherent sitting in your business as the unnecessary fat, making your business a fatty business, right? So you'll have to eliminate the 65%. So basically what we do is in lean, we base on these 5 principles. The first principle is define value. First, let us understand in the manufacturing process, what all are we doing, where we are doing the value addition. Okay, segregate that. Then map the value stream. What happens from the raw material to finished goods stage? There are different stages that the material passes through. That is called the value stream. One process, then next process, then next process. So map the value stream. You need to map it. There is a stream flowing. But what happens because of these wastes, because of Mura, the flow is not seamless. There are blockages. And that is where you are incurring cost. So we say you implement the lean tools. What are the lean tools? You might have heard about 5S, Kaizen. These are the lean tools. Standard operating procedures, creating the standard operating procedures, visual controls, visual management, daily works management. These are the lean tools. Name them, and there are hundreds of lean tools. So when you are into this scheme, when the consultant visits your factory, what are the lean tools which are applicable to your factory? Accordingly, your people get trained. So after the lean tools are applied, what happens? You actually eliminate those wastes from this value stream. And once you eliminate the wastes from the value stream, that is where you create the flow. It should be a seamless flow, just like a flowing stream and the raw material to finished goods stage. Finally, the fourth principle is establish pull. Generally, it is seen that in MSME, the work is happening on a push system. मेरा काम हो गया, ढकेल दो अगले काम वाले को. मेरा हो गया, ढकेल दो. It should be just the other way around. That's where we say JIT comes into play, just in time. Pull. The moment I require, the previous process is ready with my input, and I get the input. Instead of piling up the WIP, let us work in a pull system. And that is possible only when you have really mapped the value stream, applied the lean tools, created the seamless flow, and then you establish the pull system. That is the JIT. And finally, pursuit for perfection, that is the continual improvement. So nothing would be the last word. There is nothing called the best quality. Every time there would be another higher bar set wherein you need to reach. So continuously you go on doing this. So that's what is lean all about. Little bit about our organization. This is the founder of our organization, Mr. Runu Bagchi. He had actually given his life to MSME. He started this organization in the year 1988 for consulting MSMEs, understanding that MSME owner is actually an expert based on which expertise he has started an industry. But as the business grows, avenues go on adding up, and then things become unmanageable. That is where an external support help would be needed by the MSME to manage the entire affair. So since 1988, we had been working in areas of MSME. This gentleman is known for his contribution in the designing of Indian Navy's costing system, the Calcutta Port Trust materials management system, and many more to talk about. And we are following through his legacy. Business Analysis Group, established in 1988. We work in 3 verticals. Industry, definitely, yes. We are into market research, and we are also working with the educational institutions. When it comes to industry sectors, we have actually done handholding in implementation of lean tools. Those are 5S and Kaizen in 20 leather good manufacturing units in the year 2010. We have implemented total quality management and quality circle in 12 customer care centers of West Bengal Electricity Distribution Company Limited and 4 power stations of West Bengal State Electricity Transmission Company Limited. We have completed clusters, lean manufacturing clusters in the previous scheme of MSME. With leather good manufacturing units. We had, in fact, 19 leather good manufacturing units in the 2 clusters. We have also implemented the same scheme in 2 clusters of 12 garment manufacturing units. And presently, we are implementing lean in 3 leather good manufacturing units, 1 tannery, and 1 chemical manufacturing unit. On behalf of QCI and MSME, when it was decided that we need to bring up industry-ready technicians, so all these lean tools and techniques, these were incorporated in the syllabus of ITIs and polytechnics. So there was a need of educating the teachers of ITIs and polytechnics, and that training was imparted by us on behalf of QCI and MSME across 3,000 teachers of ITIs and polytechnics. You all must have heard of Z, zero effect, zero defect. That is another scheme of MSME. We have started working on Z scheme since the pilot stage. We have completed our trainings and deliberations in the pilot stage. And presently, we are also consulting the MSME units in implementing Z certification. We are a Kolkata-based consultancy firm. We have the capability of designing customized operations methodologies because no two organizations are same. So there is a lot of customization needed, understanding the breathing of the specific organization. And we are Z consultants, as we have told you. Now, why should you implement lean manufacturing? That's the biggest question. Now, let us do a one-point sort for MSME. When we talk of MSME, the strength is your market because you have a market, hence you are existing. So the strength is your market. Your weakness is your apathy to adopt the modern quality tools and techniques. I would say apathy and to some extent ignorance also. There's a lot of unawareness regarding what quality tools and techniques needs to be adopted in order to be a competitive organization in today's day. So that is one of the weaknesses. Opportunity, market is continuously growing and you have scope of diversification. That is your opportunity. And your threat is not being competitive in the market. That makes your survival difficult. So this is the sort. So, and it is said that it would be difficult for a non-lean organization to survive. If you are non-lean, if you are not taking care of that excess fat which you have gathered within your organization's health, then it would be difficult for your survival. So it's high time that you implement lean and improve the health of your organization. Most of the MSMEs do not have the data, do not have the recording system. They are not system driven and hence they are unaware of their key performance indicators. Every organization needs to be measured by key performance indicators. Some of these inventory turnover ratio, ITR, contribution percentage based on marginal costing, working capital ratio, what is your process time, what is your holding time, what is your lead time, what is your average defect part per million, what is your percentage of on-time in full delivery, OTIF, what is your startup delay, what is your overall equipment efficiency, how many repeat orders are you getting. These are some of the KPIs. Some of the KPIs. Again, there would be industry specific KPIs also. Okay. So because you're not data driven, because you're not system driven, hence you are unable to measure your performance, your health based on the KPIs. And this is very important. There comes the role of 7 quality control tools, 7 QC tools, we call them. So what benefit will you get? So you are starting to implement lean from the present stage, from the first stage. And what lean would do for you is basically make you equipped to put a downward thrust on the cost and that way increase your margin. And that is the single point objective of lean manufacturing. How to increase your margin by putting a downward thrust on cost. It's all about your internal hidden costs. How to get rid of that. What benefit will you get through the scheme? Implementation of lean ensures that you will have a clean and safe workplace. We will tell you how to implement 5S. 5S is a lean tool. How to implement 5S? Sort, set in order, shine, standardize, sustain. These are the 5S. So you will have a clean and a safer workplace. You will get into the process of continual improvement. There is nothing called continuous improvement. Continuous is not practical. You will have to get into a continual improvement mode. Improve, hold, again improve, hold, again improve, hold. That is continual improvement. Then a better control using visual management techniques. We are seeing, we are going to malls, we are going to airports. Nowadays, the railway stations also, all are visually controlled. You do not need to tell people that this is what you need to do here. Everything is visually controlled. All instructions are there. Your factories need to be visually controlled. Okay, that is another lean tool. Again, what will happen once you implement lean? You will eliminate the 3 M's. What are the 3 M's? What are the 3 M's? Yes, anybody else? 3 M's? Mura, Muri, Mura. Okay, the 3 M's. You'll have to eliminate the 3 M's. You will reduce your process cycle time. You will reduce your lead time. Your holding period between the processes will reduce. Your direct labor cost will reduce. Your working capital will reduce. Hence, interest you're paying on working capital will be reduced. Your reworks will reduce. Inventory levels will be reduced. You will have a better ITR, inventory turnover ratio. Your defects will reduce, and hence you will have a better part per million. Operational crisis due to mismanagement. Every day there is a firefighting situation. MSME environment, every day there is a firefighting situation, which is not required. It's not expected. You need to have free time to think on improvement and not go on doing crisis management. So that situation you will get rid of. Transportations will reduce transportation of your material, and your WIP level will come down. Work in progress stock will come down. What else? You will increase space through 5S. Availability of space happens to be a problem with most of the MSMEs. So you will have additional space generated. Labor productivity will increase, machine productivity will increase, capital productivity will increase, and your margin will increase. Your margin would go up, of course, right? So these are the benefits of the scheme once you implement. So basically, lean is a panacea for all your problems. You need to understand that. Once you start implementing, you'll see the wonders of this concept. Now, how much benefit you will get, that will totally depend upon your conviction, your commitment. It's not just another scheme. It's just not a certificate. It's not just somebody to come up and certify you. You have a document, and then based on that document, you declare yourself to be somebody which you are not. I am ISO 9000, but on floor I have not implemented. I have the document. I have the certificate. I am FSSAI, but on floor implementation is limited. I have the document. I have the certificate. I am EMS certified. So it's not about such a certification. It's about practically implementing concepts, tools in order to improve the health of your own manufacturing process. The methodology that we would adopt in taking you through lean is, first, like this, awareness programs would be held where you will just get an overview what's going to happen. After the awareness program, as I said, you will be taking the lean pledge. For that, you will log into the lean portal with your Udyam registration number. Then you will pass through the basic level. Here you will do the self-help. It's based on self-study. Get into the portal. Lot of help is available on the portal. Technical help will be available. So get into the studying, learning, self-learning, and pass the basic level that you will do individually. After passing the basic level, all the units which have passed the basic level, they can come together and form a group of enterprises. After formation of group of enterprises, you apply for handholding to QCI. Once you apply for handholding for QCI, QCI assigns a consultant to you. A consultant comes to your organization. Then you are taken through the gap analysis and handholding process. Now, in gap analysis and handholding process, what happens? Initially, we'll take from you. We take information from you and understand where are the gaps. What are the wastes? What kaizens we need to do? Which are the weakness areas? What are the industry USP? What are the basic specifications of this industry? What are the industry specific ITRs? First, we need to find out what are the gaps. This gap analysis report is shared with you. It is created with your data, is shared with you. Then there is an handholding action plan that is shared with you. After that handholding action plan is agreed upon between us, then the handholding starts. Okay. And this entire thing carries out for 6 months. After 6 months, there is an assessment done by QCI and MSME. And after the assessment, you are declared as intermediate level, lean intermediate level. Then again, if you want to develop further, then again you need to apply for handholding, and the similar sequence of processes will go on, and finally you will reach the advanced level. So this is the chronology in which this scheme flows. Now, to make it a successful project, 10 points you need to take care of. Rather, you need not forget these 10 points. Lean manufacturing is accepted throughout the world. Do not resist and neither allow others to resist. It's not a concept newly coming to you. It's proven, it's accepted, entire world is practicing it. All the developed countries have adopted it. All big organizations have benefited out of it. They are breathing lean. So don't resist it and do not allow others to resist. It's a proven concept. It's a proven philosophy. Success largely depends on interest of the owners. You are instrumental. If you are interested, you will ensure that the people in your team are interested and they better adopt lean, know the lean techniques and work in the lean philosophy. Lean coordinators interest leadership. There is a lean coordinator. We say that every unit should have a lean coordinator. You would be forming the strategy, but there has to be somebody who will be the torch bearer. So that person is called the lean coordinator. So his interest, leadership, team building capability, and the ability to inspire the team. That is very instrumental. Consultants will train and set the target. The unit members will have to do the work. It's not a concept of outsourcing. No ISO consultant is going to come and do your documentation here. The lean consultant will come to you, they will train you, they will train your people, they will be with you, and you will have to do the work. It's not an outsourcing concept. Work related to lean implementation is not a separate task. फिर ये डॉक्यूमेंट बनाना है, फिर ISO को वो जमा करना है, नहीं. Your concept will be do the work in lean way. Your way will be lean way. You will walking on the lean path. You'll be walking on the lean path, basically. Okay. 40% success of lean depends on tools and techniques. You'll be trained on tools and techniques. There will be a lot of trainings. You will have a lot of snaps of PPTs taken. You will have a lot of PPT copies. That's the 40%. The remaining 60% is changing the organization's culture. How well you groom lean philosophy into your organization's culture is going to make the difference. Don't say why it cannot be done. Because we are very easily, we jump into whenever a challenge, a situation comes to us, we very easily go on adding points on the nose, why it cannot be done. If there are 95 points, I'll be very good at adding at the 96th and the 97th point. But it is said that even there, if there is 1% chance to get it done, focus on that 1% chance. Okay. On-time delivery in full, zero defect, increase in productivity and decrease in labor cost is assured. Follow the lean path. You will achieve it. Involve all in lean. It's not a matter of only the top management or only the supervisors or only the managers. Everyone has to be involved in it. Lean is not a program for 6 to 12 months. It's just a question of hand-holding. It's a question of MSME through QCI enabling you to adopt the philosophy. But it's your pledge to continue it after the period of 6 months throughout the lifetime of your organization. Okay. So do not stop after 6 or the 12 months period. See, this is some practical figures which I am showing you. I talked about 2 clusters of leather good manufacturing units. All these are 100% export oriented units. So there are very stringent export norms. Buyer norms, quality norms are very stringent. Delivery norms are very stringent. These organizations have successfully implemented lean. See what we have shown you. These are the tools. 5S, Kaizen, Kanban, Pokayoke, visual control, cellular manufacturing, inventory reduction. They have worked with these tools and individually against every tool, this is the benefit rather reduction of cost that they have achieved. And overall, consolidating all the 10 units together, it's almost a 7 crores benefit across this was a 18 months project. Across 18 months, this was the benefit achieved. And over and above this, the 20,396 square feet space freed up across all the organizations, consolidated. Then the next cluster I'll show you. Top row shows you the names of the units. Here again, training, 5S, visual management, quality improvement, Kaizen, cellular layout, inventory management. These were the tools adopted. See the benefits. There are units who have achieved 16 lakhs. Smaller units achieved smaller benefits, but they have achieved it. And there are units who have achieved benefits to the extent of 4 crores also. So this is all about the cost reduction. Remember that. Okay. And also the space saving, which is happening by implementing 5S. So how will the lean implemented in your organization? Choose a value stream to improve. I talked about the value stream in the beginning. You remember what is the value stream? What did I say is value stream? Anyone? Yeah, that is value. And I said that the processes one after other, as and when your raw material is going on moving, till the finished goods, that is your value stream. Okay. As the value moves, one process after the other, that is the value stream. So choose a value stream where you want the improvement. Okay. And then identify what is value for the customer. Remember, value is something for which customer is paying. It's not that we define. Okay. Quality is something which my customer defines. It's not that I boast of. Right? So identify what is the value for customer. Then map the current state of value flow. When we say map it, what we are actually asking you to do, identify where are the 8 wastes, identify where you are overburdening, identify where you are imbalanced, right? Muri, Mura, Muda, identify that. Then study the value stream, see what all you can do, where all you can have improvements done, everything you cannot address one at all together. So you'll have to prioritize, okay? Then map an ideal value stream. So with the prioritization, you now do a action plan that will be your ideal value stream or the objective where you want to reach. Then create the improvement plan, which means what are the tools I'm going to apply, what are the tools that I'm going to adapt, implement it, implement the tools, record data, measure your improvements. Now, after measuring the improvements, wherever corrections are needed, do the corrections. And now, by this time, you have achieved a new process in the same value stream, standardize the, and then again, choose a value stream to improve. That's why we are saying that this is a continual improvement path. It's not a question of 6 months. It's not a question of 12 months. It's a question of a lifelong journey in the organization. It's a question of changing the culture from what you are today to what you will be after implementing Lean. So implementation would be very successful if the strategic plan is top down. And if it is not so, it will be a failure. Top down means it's the owner's commitment. We just now said that totally depends upon the owner's conviction and owner's commitment. So from top management, the strategic plan should be percolated very stringently down the level through the Lean coordinator, through the Lean change agents to every department up to the bottom level. So it should be so strict strategy that people do not even dare to deviate out of it. That should be your commitment to Lean. And the implementation has to be bottom up, because we are saying participation of all. Unless until the bottom man gets involved, I'll just share one experience. In a shop floor, there was this forklift truck every day going here and there, and this chai wala is coming and vending tea to everybody on the shop floor. And every day there is a chaos. "Hey, sore ja, forklift asche, forklift asche." Every day there is a chaos. One day this chai wala got very perturbed. একটা পক পক লাগিয়ে নিলেই তো হয়, রোজ এত হল্লা করার কি দরকার আছে? And this struck the mind. Kaizen happened. The chai wala gave a suggestion that in the forklift truck we can have that horn, so that people can be warned that I am on the way, please give me way. Okay, so that's why we are saying that implementation has to be bottom up. Even the housekeep staff should be included in your implementation of lean manufacturing. Then only it would be a change in the organization's climate, a cultural change we are talking about. It is going to happen only then. So it's a journey of continuous improvement rather than a destination. There's no end to it. You start walking on it, and once you have started walking on it, you will never end. You will go on walking. It's a road of continuous or continual quality improvement. There's no point where you say, this is the destination, I can stop now. So what will be the owner's responsibility? As owners, what you need to do is understand the scheme and lean manufacturing philosophy well. Ensure your senior employees that your importance is not going to get diluted. This is one very inevitable point which stands as a barrier in adopting any new concept in an organization. Your senior employees are insecure. They feel that their importance is getting diluted. Ensure them it's not so. Even they are going to be strengthened through the trainings. Implement the scheme in a top-down approach. This just now I have told you, lean cannot be implemented temporarily. It's not a project. It's not a temporary affair. It's a permanent culture of the organization. No indulgence to resistance and apathy from employees. It will happen. Change management is very difficult, but you will have to be for it. You cannot give way to resistance. Rather, you'll have to manage the resistance and implement the change. Identify the team for implementation and a leader to head the team. There has to be a lean coordinator. You cannot be running here and there every time to implement lean. So you need to identify a lean coordinator within your team who would be basically dedicated to this implementation and would be heading your team. It will not be extra work. All will have to work the way the consultants will tell. It's not extra work. It's changing the way of your working. That needs to be made very clear. Consultants are mentoring you to improve. Do not expect them to do your work. Remember, you will have to match with the pace of the other units if you are forming a cluster. That is very important. And this irony we have faced in the previous scheme. Unless until the group of enterprises move together, then it becomes very difficult. One unit has progressed, other is not progressing. It becomes very difficult for the benefits to be reaped by all equally. Closely follow the activities of the consultants and how your team is reciprocating with the consultants. As owner, you need to be taking reportings. Once the scheme starts, don't just sit back. We know some units who have actually benefited after each and every of our visit. When we are out of the unit, the CEO of the organization used to have another meeting with all those who were there in the sessions with us during that day, taking reports from them. What have you learned? What is your task to be done when the consultant is going to visit next? What have you achieved? What benefits you feel you will achieve after these implementations? So it was a very serious affair. So it's a question of making the affair serious and not just another project or another scheme. Solve your doubts, if any, but see that all advices are implemented. If you have doubts, talk to the consultant, discuss, but see that you implement all that what is advised. Don't leave the scheme before completion. So that as the owner, you will have to take care of these points. So we say that adopt the tortoise way, tortoise policy, but go on moving. You need not be the hare. No matter how many mistakes you make, if you have started, then it's okay. You will progress. Mistakes is obvious. And those who have not started, you will definitely leave them behind. So it's a question of starting it. Thank you so much. I'm open to questions if you have any. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mukherjee, for your presentation. And the LMP, first presentation by Mr. Nitin Jadhav or before the question? What do you suggest? Presentation. Okay. Thank you for the presenting the LMP. That's the philosophy of the lean management. Thank you so much. Now I request Madam Mr. Nitin Jadhav from QCI to deliver his address and the presentation.
Okay, thank you, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you, Bharat Chamber of Commerce, who have organized this beautiful program. I would like to thank you, Chairman Mr. Achyut Chandra, and Secretary General Mrs. Keka Sharma, and Secretary of Bharat Chamber, Mr. Avik Roy, and Mr. Tarak Kansabanik ji, Assistant Director of MSME. Please play the video I have shared with you. Hello. MSME Lean Mastercard. Video I have given you. Mastercard. Yes, this one. I'm not taking your so much time. Open the voice.
आत्मनिर्भरता की ओर तीव्रता से अग्रसर भारत की औद्योगिक प्रगति का एक महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ हैं हमारे एमएसएमईज, यानी सूक्ष्म, लघु और मध्यम उद्योग, जिनका आज देश की जीडीपी में लगभग 30% का बड़ा योगदान है। इन्हीं एमएसएमईज की कार्यकुशलता को सुधारने के लिए भारत सरकार के एमएसएमई मंत्रालय ने एमएसएमई कंपेटिटिव लीन स्कीम का शुभारंभ किया है। आसान भाषा में समझें तो लीन का मतलब है दुबला या पतला होना, यानी शरीर में से अनावश्यक फैट को निकालकर उसे स्वस्थ और तंदुरुस्त रखना। बस इसी उद्देश्य को उत्पादन प्रक्रिया में सम्मिलित कर नॉन वैल्यू एडेड एक्टिविटी को घटाकर संस्थान को ज्यादा से ज्यादा कंपेटिटिव व प्रॉफिटेबल बनाना लीन का मुख्य ध्येय है। प्रमुख तौर पर लीन एक सुनियोजित कार्य प्रणाली को स्थापित कर पूर्ण रूप से वेस्टेज को कम करने का प्रयास करता है। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट को स्थायित्व देने के लिए लीन 2 आधारभूत स्तंभों जस्ट इन टाइम यानी जेआईटी और जडोका का प्रयोग करती है। इनके सम्मिश्रण से वर्कर एवं मशीन का उपयुक्त प्रयोग तथा त्रुटियों को सही समय पर नियंत्रित करते हुए कम से कम समय में गुणवत्ता, उत्पादकता, सुरक्षा और अंततः मुनाफा बढ़ाने में मदद मिलती है। लीन के अंतर्गत जहां जापानीज 3M कॉन्सेप्ट मुडा, मुरा, मुरी के परिपालन से उत्पादन को संतुलित किया जाता है, वहीं इसमें 5S, कानबान, पोकेयोके, सेल्युलर लेआउट इत्यादि जैसे कई टूल्स भी हैं जिनका प्रयोग आज दुनिया भर में किया जाता है। भारत सरकार द्वारा चलाई गई एमएसएमई कंपेटिटिव लीन स्कीम के अंतर्गत 4 से 10 इकाइयों का ग्रुप बनाकर 3 चरणों में यानी बेसिक, इंटरमीडिएट, एडवांस लेवल पर लीन सलाहकार की मदद से 18 महीनों में लीन तकनीकों को कार्यान्वित करते हैं। इस योजना का विस्तृत रूप से प्रभाव डालने के लिए सरकार ने लीन सलाहकार की 90% फीस का भुगतान करने का फैसला किया है, जिससे से ज्यादा उद्यम रजिस्टर्ड एमएसएमईज इसका लाभ उठा सकें। इसके अलावा जो एमएसएमई इकाइयां एमएसएमई कंपेटिटिव लीन स्कीम को सफलतापूर्वक पूरा करती हैं, जेड तथा डिजिटल एमएसएमई में उपलब्ध सब्सिडी का लाभ भी उठा सकती हैं। एमएसएमई कंपेटिटिव लीन भारत का औद्योगिक स्वरूप बदलने तथा उसे वैश्विक प्रतिस्पर्धा के समक्ष तैयार करने के लिए एक परिपूर्ण स्कीम है। तो आइए एमएसएमई कंपेटिटिव लीन स्कीम को अपना पूर्ण समर्थन देते हुए भारत को दुनिया का एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब बनाने में अपना सहयोग दें।
Please open that PPT. I hope everyone has understand lean what ma'am is talking about, and so I'm not taking your so much time. So, being the owner, everyone has some time limitations. So I would like to start from revising something. MSMEs are catalyst for economic growth of any country. So to provide employment and employees has converted into entrepreneurs. Then these are some ideal state for an MSME to delivery, what is cost efficiencies and how quality is maintained and all other things. So as earlier we have to differentiate between income and cost, how the cost is bared by the owners. And so the basic function is lean for reducing non-value added activities, as we have words with them. How the lean implementation has been done, what is the scheme for registration and how it works. So we will start from here. There's two implementing agencies has been decided by Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. The one is Quality Council of India and one is National Product NPC. So industry has freedom to choose any implementing agencies, whether it is QCI or whether it is NPC. Okay, so MCLS scheme will be implemented in two phases. First is for manufacturing MSMEs and second is for service sector MSMEs. So with all MSME registered with Udyam has eligibility, and after that there is a cluster development program, and who have registered in Spurti, like a scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional clusters. There will be three stages of this scheme. First one is basic, then second is one intermediate, and third one is advanced. So the basic difference between three stages is shown here. So in the basic stage, MSME website will provide a video course for everyone who has been registered. They will be completing this whole program in maximum 2 months. So they will be self-learning e-modules. After that completion of self-learning, it will be completed within, depending on your time, your coordinator from your industry. Then industry has reached to intermediate level. So it will be for 6 months time duration, in which first 2 months has been divided with the DSR and action plan. After GOE formation, your development GOE format, 2 months time has been given for DSR and action plan, 2 months for diagnostic study report. So consultant will visit to your organization and check what is the improvement you need to improve into the process. After that, implementation phase for 2 months, and final phase is in which tripartite agreement, one person from implementing agency, whether it is QCI or NPC, one person from MSME, DFO or their official, and one person from your organization's GOE. Whatever GOE format, you will choose a person who will be heading the cluster. So the 3 persons will tell that it will be completed or not. So there is no process that कोई भी ऐसा नहीं होगा कि कोई भी इंडस्ट्री ये सोचे कि उसे बीच में ही छोड़ दिया जाएगा. आफ्टर द ट्राइपार्टिट एग्रीमेंट, अगर इम्प्रूवमेंट दिखेगा डॉक्यूमेंट्स में, जो कि स्टार्टिंग में DSR में आपके डॉक्यूमेंट्स लिए जाएंगे बाय कंसल्टेंट, कि अगर आपने प्रोसेस इंप्रूव हो रहा है आपका 5S के थ्रू, कुछ चेंजेस आ रहे हैं आपके प्रॉफिट में और आपका रिडक्शन हो रहा है टाइम में और लेबर कॉस्ट भी कट हो रही है, देन आफ्टर इट विल बी कंप्लीटेड बाय agreeable by all 3 members. And after completion of the intermediate state, the same process has been followed into advanced stage. So this is the visual implementation. Third, these are the financials of this scheme. Basic level is almost free for everyone. There will be no cost for it. And for intermediate level, for consultation fees is around 1,20,000 plus taxes. But for industry, MSME has given 90% subsidy to every. So the final cost will be 12,000 plus taxes. So Government of India contribution is around 1,08,000. Same will be followed into advanced level. Except that 5% extra has been allocated for industry organizations who have the associations. Any industry will be taking participate in this scheme through an association and OEMs, and they have been registered under Spurti cluster, or if they have been women or SC/ST owned and the Northeast region located. So the 5% extra subsidy has been given. So overall 95% subsidy has been given to industries by Government of India. And for industry associations, after completing all these levels, 5,000 per MSME shall be given to associations. These are the key stakeholders of this scheme. Ministry of MSME, QCI, NPCs, implementing agencies, and consulting organizations, state government, MSME, DFO, industry associations, and other ministries. This is the address of scheme to register on that: https lean.msme.gov. So here the hands-on experience from the website. Anyone visiting the given link will be redirecting to the website. Here every industry has to register for lean scheme. After clicking on it, apply for lean scheme, and they will get a similar page to this. For registration, they will need to fill out their Udyam registration and mobile number associated with it. If they don't have Udyam registration, then they will redirecting to the Udyam registration page, and after that they will be reaching to implementing. Then this page look like this. your industry name and their address. If you are having multiple addresses, so you can select plant ID and then declaration. Click on checkbox. After that, you will submit the owner details and coordinator details. Who will be coordinating for the scheme? Some owners are not getting time, so they will assign their manager or coordinator details, phone number and email ID, and it will be also editable. And you can choose your own implementing agency, whether it is QCI or NPC. After that, you will get a Spurti cluster declaration. If you are having, then please click on yes and submit all the details, and checkbox of industry association. Are you part of any industry association? Then you will submit all the details of association. Then you will get 5% subsidy. And there will be a check for geotagged photograph. So you can submit this. And this page will be redirecting to that similar page. Looks like there will be you undertaking certificate. You can take it, and then declaration box for lien place. Then you will get a message like this. So after completing the registration process, the page is looking like this, and basic module video lecture is shown here and your progress. So you can revisit it anytime during your extra time. Then lean intermediate progress is shown here and advanced level. After completing all the stages, you can get a certificate for completing lean basic or advanced intermediate. And the certificate will look like this. And the video lecture will be shown at this page. And success stories has been shown in our previous slides. So these are the visual changes from implementing lean schemes in various industries. They have implemented 5S scorecard, 5S audit check sheet. And somebody remember what is 5S? Oh, these are the tool named like Sora's Japanese term, Shiro, Situ, Sitsi, and in English it will be like sort, set, sign, then standardize and sustain. These are the success stories from a member of our last scheme, Pragati Founders, Kolhapur. They have been saving 7,92,000 per annum. And this is the material flow change after that. So they will get the space savings. And these are our seniors from QCI. You can contact them. Ms. Dr. Aradhana Chopra, Director, and Mr. Anurag Rastogi and Mr. Ankur Malik. So please play the second video, so I can show these success stories from in a visual form. Success stories video.
लीन के आने के बाद हमें काफी फायदा हुआ है। जैसे कि 5S में पहले हमारा पूरा एक ही बंदा सब कुछ देखता था, उसके बाद हमने जोन डिसाइड किए और उन जोन का सबका एक एक लीडर बना दिया, जिससे हमारे 5S में काफी इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ है। जो चीज जहाँ पे चाहिए वहीं पे मिलती है।
हमने एक वेस्ट में से ये कबर्ड निकाला, उसमें हमने पिजन होल कर दिया और हमने वो सेग्रीगेट करके जो उसका डायमीटर वाइज है उसको हमने अलग अलग से रखना चालू किया। उसका स्टॉक क्लियर आने लगा, हमको एक्स्ट्रा इन्वेंट्री नहीं रखनी पड़ी और जो भी चीजें हैं वो हमको मिलने में ढूंढने में टाइम कम होने लगा.
This is our OE board. In OE board, we calculate OE on daily basis and we display it. Here we display the best OE of the day. This is our daily rejection board. Here we display our rejection and their actions including them.
पहले हमारे पास इसका मॉनिटरिंग नहीं होता था, रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं होता था प्रोडक्शन का. जो ट्रेनिंग के बाद इनका ट्रेनिंग के बाद हमने मॉनिटरिंग करना शुरू किया और दूसरा हमने प्रोडक्शन का रिकॉर्डिंग शुरू किया. प्रोडक्शन का रिकॉर्डिंग का शुरू होने से हमारा एक फायदा हुआ है, जो जितना हमारा टारगेट मीट करना शुरू किया है. टारगेट मीट करने से हमारा जो पहले फैक्ट्री 12 घंटा चलता था वो हमारा प्रोडक्शन टाइम पे मीट होने से हमारा वो 10 घंटा हो गया.
The money saved on product storage and inventory management adds additional cash flow in the company. Managing satisfied workers is easily conducted and makes any business prosper in the long run.
टूल चेंज करने के लिए पहले हमें कम से कम 1 घंटा लगता था और लीन की ट्रेनिंग लेने के बाद हमें अब अप्रूवमेंट ये किया है कि हमें अपना टूल औजार वगैरह सब सामान एक साथ इकट्ठा कर लेते हैं. अब कम से कम भी हमें टूल लगाने में 10 या 15 मिनट के टाइम लगता है.
ये टाटा मोटर्स का पार्ट है. पहले हम विजुअली ऐसे इंस्पेक्शन करते थे तो अंदर मिट्टी रहती थी. मिट्टी रहने के बाद कस्टमर के कंप्लेंट आती थी. फिर इसमें से आइडिया निकाला कि इसमें अंदर से बल्ब दिखाया और मिट्टी और अंदर की डिफेक्ट अगर दिखाई तो कस्टमर के कंप्लेंट भी कम आएगा और जो हमारा आदमी उधर पार्टी के यहाँ जा रहा था उसको जो जाने वाला खर्चा आने वाला खर्च जो हमारा होता था वो हमारा बच गया.
लीन के ट्रेनिंग के बाद पहले कास्टिंग ऐसा था. अब जब लीन का ट्रेनिंग लिया तो बाद में ऐसा कास्टिंग आ रहा. मतलब ये स्टैंड है, स्टैंड का कास्टिंग है और पहले ये निकालने के लिए 4 घंटा लगता था ये कास्टिंग निकालने के लिए और अभी ये निकलता है 1 घंटे में 4 रंग निकलता है.
QCI
Okay.
Thank you, Nitin ji, for the presentation. Just to add that, lean jaise Madam Mukherjee bole hai, this is a new concept. Earlier, MSME DI is doing lot of courses and continuous training for the members. Lot of members are engaged there. Thank you so much presentation. And any question, please.
Thank you, sir. Please proceeding the programs as per schedule.
I have a question in macro level, maybe to both of you. Is this scheme that the government is coming up? How do, but it has nothing to do with the industry, how do the government or country benefit out of this?
Government is not benefited.
The government is people. So government benefiting is the country benefiting.
Yes.
So how do you perceive the country is going to benefit from this scheme? Well, let's rephrase the question.
Yes, sir.
Why would you influence all MSME unit to go for this scheme?
Sir, it is a process of implementing this scheme. So the profit will be higher and cost reduction and all other things will be in a flow. The scheme is utilized by Japanese term Toyota Production System, TPS. So they have implemented this scheme and started this scheme all around the world. So it will be benefited by everywhere, whether it is a good margin making companies, top world companies. So this scheme is beneficiary for everyone. That's why Government of India introduced this scheme for our SMEs, MSMEs to start their sector for a better world.
Actually, individual unit, if their productivity and quality improvement happens, then in sum of the overall society will improve, our country will improve. So this is the purpose to improve the quality, productivity, wastage reduction. Cost.
I belong to a B2B business manufacturing process. Today in India, with the globalization and multinational companies operating, so our B2B, we are actually catering to this type of companies. So we were forced to get into various ISO standards and whatever the standards. I mean, we are seeing our improvement. Now, in addition, why would you suggest I go for this scheme also? Say my unit is under ISO, which was forcefully done because of demand from the market. And very small thing, and we have benefited out of that. But why this additional lean competition? Why say I am an ISO certified and we are operating the procedures on that? So why go for this lean? What is my benefit in this?
For the benefit of the some parameter, you need not, if you have the lean, that is under Z, that is daily works management. So there are two parameters. If you have lean, then for Z it is not required. That is tangible benefit. But intangible benefit is that the objective is the same and the benefit will happen in the individual unit. So if you try to link with the tangible benefit, but it is more than the intangible benefit, that your quality, your productivity, these are the main purpose. So for your future growth, it is required to implement the MCLS scheme in your unit. That is the main objective.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anything more? Abhay, something?
Is there anything on this where we supply to several multinational companies in the packaging sector in West Bengal? And in fact, recently I had a query from one of my customers asking if we had in-house expertise on lean manufacturing and the Toyota production system and all that you mentioned. So I just want to understand at what scale or beyond what scale do you recommend something like this to an MSME? I mean, there are certain things, all MSMEs have a restriction of human resources personnel, be in quality, be in operations, be in planning, whatever it is. Beyond what scale would you recommend this kind of scheme makes practical sense? I don't think for, say, a 10%, 20% company may not make sense. Beyond a certain scale, it may make sense. So I'm just trying to get an idea of beyond what scale you think this can work practically.
First of all, when we talk of lean manufacturing, as I said that it's a philosophy of manufacturing. So the scale has really not got to do anything. If you have seen the chart that I've shown you, wherein the tangible benefits achieved in terms of cost reduction by different units were reflecting. There you must have seen there is a unit who has achieved a cost reduction of 16 lakh across the year. And there is a unit who has achieved a reduction of 4 crores across the year. So if a unit is small, then of course the level of achievement of cost reduction would be less. But the benefit would be that organization would become competitive. So the volume of business would increase. They will have more buyers. So the growth would be inevitable for that organization. So the scale is not as a matter of fact, not a restriction to participate in lean manufacturing or adopt the philosophy. Never.
Thank you.
Just a question. What is the role of AI, artificial intelligence, in this particular thing? If you
see, Industry 4, that happens to be the next gen thing in MSME. But we are yet to experience this so far as MSME manufacturing is concerned. Presently, if you see, our exposure to AI is more in the analysis part in terms of software, in terms of MS Office and all that. But yes, artificial intelligence has got a lot to do. Once it can, it seems it would take another few years when things would turn up to a situation where the entire manufacturing process might change, wherein we are talking that we might not require medical practitioners if AI comes up. So you can think what miraculous changes can happen so far as manufacturing is concerned. So that is yet to be tested. We have not yet got that taste. We must say that. So industry 4 is in line. Let us see what comes up.
I think there's no more questions. So now we request Mr. Rajat Buddharaja to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kansabani, Mrs. Mukherjee, Mr. Yadav, participants and friends. At the end of this important awareness session on MSME competitive lean scheme organized by the Chamber this afternoon in partnership with the Quality Council of India, it is my pleasure to propose a very hearty vote of thanks to our honored guest speakers, Mr. Tarak Kansabani, IEDS Assistant Director, MSME Development and Facilitation Office, Kolkata, Mrs. Ruchira Mukherjee, Lean Consultant, and Mr. Nitin Yadav, Analyst Quality Council of India. Thank you for sparing some of your valuable time and deliberating on the important aspects of MSME competitive lean scheme. This program is a special initiative of the Ministry of MSME, Government of India, to facilitate the MSMEs with the concept of quality in manufacture and help them to effectively face the challenges of competitiveness, particularly in the global markets. I am sure all of you have benefited from the presentations made by our guest speakers on the lean scheme. In case some of you would like to share your perspectives of quality in manufacture and highlight the challenges that you and the other MSMEs may be facing in this part of our country, you may share your concerns with the Chamber. We will then take it up with the Quality Council of India and the Ministry of MSME. I would also like to thank all the participants representing the MSME sector who have joined the session physically and virtually. But for sure, without your participation, today's program would not have been possible. I also thank the Quality Council of India for partnering the event. With these words, I now request all to join me in carrying a hearty vote of thanks to our honored guest speakers with appreciative acclamation. Thank you all.